Should you or should you not use QuickBooks to manage your rental property business? Okay, QuickBooks has been around forever. They're a name brand. Everyone talks about them. They've been in the business for ages. And so obviously that's a natural choice, right? I'm not so sure. Okay, rather than making you wait until the very end of this video and dragging it out, I'm gonna tell you right up front that I personally am not a fan of QuickBooks, and this is why. Okay, so when my wife and I first started tracking our rental property business and our expenses, we were looking for a specific piece of software that would just make it super easy for us to handle everything. We had our Excel spreadsheet and it was working fine for 1 or 2 properties. But the problem is, as we started to grow, we had a flip over here, and then we bought some storage units, then we bought another rental, and pretty soon it was getting crazy. Like, we were losing receipts all over the place. We were missing out on all these tax deductions. It was just, our business was growing so much quicker than we thought, and it was getting really difficult to manage. So we decided to start looking for a piece of software that would track our business, and we decided to look into QuickBooks because, like I said, that's what everybody else uses, and so obviously that is what we should use too, right? And that right there is where, for me personally, QuickBooks started to fall out of the running. And the reason for that is because QuickBooks is a jack of all trades, but it's a master of none. In my opinion, QuickBooks is trying to be the one-size-fits-all, work for anybody and everybody business. Whether you've got a bakery down the street or you're trying to manage rental properties, QuickBooks is just a blanket solution to track your business. If you've watched any of the other videos on my channel, it should be no surprise to you that I'm a numbers guy. I love diving deep into the numbers. I love looking at the analytics and seeing how my business is actually performing. I mean, I guess if I'm bringing in rent, I should be doing okay, right? But that's not always the case. You can still be collecting rent checks, but obviously if you have more money going out than you have coming in, then you're gonna be net negative and you don't really have a successful business. So I wanted to see how my properties were actually performing. I wanted to see cap rates. I wanted to see net operating income. I wanted to dive down into the nitty gritty, see how my properties were doing and decide, is this a property that I actually want to hang on to? Or if it's not making me money, then I absolutely need to sell it. Okay, now to QuickBooks credit, they do have the ability to do that, but the way that they do it is by this custom thing called classes, which I'm not super familiar with, but essentially it's a way that you can set up custom categories and custom tagging to apply to your transactions and set up all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It sounded really confusing to me. And so, yes, QuickBooks has the ability to do that, but I just wanted a solution that would work and set it up and go and be done. Okay, but here's the catch. In order to get the whiz-bang fancy custom classes to be able to get the reporting that I wanted, you have to be subscribed to the QuickBooks Plus version, which is $35 a month. If you know anything about me, I'm a cheapskate. Yes, I realize $35 a month, that comes out to $400 a year, whatever. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. But at the end of the day, I just don't feel like I should have to pay almost $500 a year to see how my properties are performing. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, so I know what you're asking. Okay, Bryce, if you don't use QuickBooks, then what do you use? Well, kind sir, I thought you'd never ask. I use a service called Rentastic. The reason that I like Rentastic is because it's specifically designed to track your rental property business and nothing else. It's not a blanket solution for every business. It's only for rental properties. And the great thing is it's so simple. It's exactly what I was looking for. All you do is you add your properties, you link a bank account, and you classify your transactions, and then you're done. It is so freaking simple. So I'm gonna dive into my dashboard, my account right now, show you how all my properties are set up, and just kind of give you a deep dive on how Rentastic works and why I like it so much. Okay, so let me log in here, type in my username and password. Okay, so right off the bat, this is the dashboard that you see when you log in. It's so clean. I love it. It's not like bam in your face. It's not overwhelming. It's just, look, this is your income, these are your expenses, this is how your portfolio overall is looking. I really like it. You've got your income, you've got your expenses over here, just nice, crisp, large numbers, so you can just at a quick glance, you can see how you're doing. Don't pay attention. We are very negative for the month of August. Reason is we just bought a house flip, and so we dumped a ton of money into that. Yeah, don't pay attention to that. But I really like it. Like I said, big, nice, clean, crisp numbers. I can see my portfolio value. I can see the debt, number of properties, number of units we have, and then a simple graph. You can see expenses, income. Again, really high expenses this month. Don't pay attention to that. But that's what I need. That is what I was looking for. Okay, coming over to properties. If you dive into this, you can see this is so clean. It's just so nice because you can scroll through and see a list of all the properties that you have. So let's, for example, click on this one. This is the very first rental property that we ever bought. So we can see just a picture. You can see where it's located on the map. See what our loan to value is. So you can see we almost are about 50% equity, which is great because we only bought this place 2.5 years ago. So that's pretty cool. You can see the Zestimate, you can see the net operating income, cap rate, cash flow per unit. Not to mention, it's just a super easy, simple, clean way to see where your money is going. So for the month of August, this is kind of a bummer. We had a gigantic elm tree that was starting to drop branches on top of the house, and so that had to come out. It was $2,000. So that was kind of a bummer. But we can see right there, we brought in $900 for this guy, spent $2,000, a couple other expenses, but we have a net loss of $1,100 for this month. Okay, coming over to bank accounts, I've already linked my bank account, I've already linked my credit card. So all of these transactions automatically just get imported in for me. And if you go to transactions, you can see a list of all the different things that we've paid for, all the expenses we've had lately. So this one, for example, I classified this today. We've got a guy named Dave that comes and mows all our lawns for us. So I put this in as maintenance and repair for the category, and I applied it to this property, the 190-192 West Center Street. And I'm done. I mean, it's so simple, just 1-2 clicks, and it doesn't take me more than 30 seconds. The great thing is they've got an app too, so you can just put it on your phone, and I'll go in and classify transactions when I'm, I don't know, getting my oil changed or wherever it is that I'm at. It's so slick. Let me zoom over here to another page where I haven't classified something yet. Okay, so the nice thing is that it kind of auto classifies some of the transactions for you. So it'll tell you that if it's a positive amount, that obviously it's going to be income. So this guy right here, this is rent that we received. So it's already classified as income, and I can apply this to this property because that's where it goes. And that's it. It is so simple. Also, it's got some nice reporting features, like it's got tax statements, so I can come in here, select my tax year and generate. And then within like 10 seconds, maybe less than that, 5 seconds, I've got a nice P&L statement that is a PDF. I print it off and I give it to my CPA at the end of the year. I used to take 15 hours to grab all of my receipts and put them in Excel and add them all up and do all the auto sign. It was so annoying. Whereas now it literally takes 15 seconds a day, if that, classify my due transactions, click a button at the end of the year, and my taxes are done, and I have managed my business. And that is so invaluable to me. It is priceless. Now, the only downside is Rentastic. Again, it's a paid service. There is a free version, but the nice thing is that the paid version, you get all this stuff, it's $8 a month compared to $35. I am so okay with paying $8 because it does exactly what I want. I don't have to set up all the custom classes with QuickBooks and do all that kind of stuff. It just does it all for me. So this is why I personally don't use QuickBooks. I just think that a service like this that's designed for rental properties in mind, it is so much better. If you want to use QuickBooks, great. I'm sure it'll do what you need to do, but this is just so much easier. So a lot of people have asked me, Bryce, what do you use? I use Rentastic. I think it's fantastic. Punny. But I really do. I think it's a great service, and I think you should check it out. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you next week.